Welcome to another 3D comparison video. We are going to discuss a platform capable of recreating 3D models based on various inputs. So to get started, I will first refresh the website. So this is the website. It's CSM AI, which stands for Common Sense Machining. And as we can see, we can use either video to 3D to create 3D texture asset and NURBS from static or moving objects, image to 3D, so we can translate single image to 3D asset. This is also the case study presented within this video. And there's also an API coming soon. So as we can see on their website, there are some case studies presented with a minion, now with this car model. And to discuss the case study that I have prepared, we have this bronze statue that I made use in various videos on this channel, which is available on Artec 3D. So this is a bronze statue available on the database. Over here we have the info. So this is a small figurine of a Chinese warrior on a horseback. The input was based on photos. So if I will check over here on the CSM 3D viewer, this is the first session. So this was set to experimental. And if I will overlap my mouse, I will see that 3D model obtained. And this is based with normal, so where the software tries to recreate the original object. Now, I have already exported the 3D models, both the original scan, which is this one available on the Artec 3D platform, and also the two generated over here. I have already loaded them into Blender, and if I'm gonna hide the second one and the third one, so this is the initial mesh. As you can see, it has quite a lot of fine details. Now I will only display the second one. So as you can see, the horse, maybe this front area is quite well defined, but in the back the leg position is quite weird. Also the face of the rider, so we see that it has a face over here, but it's lacking a lot of details. Also that weapon that the initial Chinese statue warrior was carrying. And now let's check the final model. So this is the final model. As we can see, again, the face of the rider is quite lacking in details, but the face of the horse is actually a little bit better on this side. And there's also a floating element, so if initially it was that weapon, over here we only have a fraction of that. So in order to compare the results, I decided to load the 3D models within a reverse engineering software, in this case Geomagic. As we can see, they are positioned over here. I have scaled them in order to have them at the same scale. So the AI generated at a different scale, but those two weren't required to be scaled, but the original object was also scaled to match those. And this is, let's say, a roughly overlap of those two plus the original mesh. Now, to see the differences between those, I will do an analysis. So this is a deviation analysis. The reference will be 1, which is the original model, and 2 will be the second model. I will set over here the maximum deviation to something higher. Okay, let's check that deviation analysis between those two. You're gonna see that some areas are well defined. in terms of geometrical deviations, while others are way off, as we can see the head of the horse and stuff like that. So this is the original model, and this is a color map of the areas that are overlapping, in some cases quite well, so we see with green. If I will display also the test object, you're gonna see that the test object will be like this. So we see that the face of the horse is not well aligned. Also the horse's legs are quite off within this generated model. And now I'm gonna compare the first one with the third one. We see that this is an average overlap of those two. Again, starting with the first one, analysis deviation with the third one. Again, I will set this to something larger, so the maximum deviation to be 5 meters. And we're going to see that the overlap is quite similar to the other model. And we see that this is the color map for this overlap, and if I'm gonna position the test model, we're gonna see again that the horse is quite similar in size, but the rider position is quite off. Also this one has a much larger tail over here. Okay, so overall this is a 3D comparison regarding the accuracy of those models. But considering the fact that the input was just a simple print screen from the web page of the model, these models are quite detailed. I also prepared some other case studies over here, as we can see a plywood chair and also some Cybertruck concept, but those models are still in training. So it requires, I have added them like 12 hours ago, and they are still in training, so it still requires a little bit of time until I will have those models prepared, but I will create a video regarding this. I'm curious if this photo to 3D will replace industrial designers, so mostly as concepts, because as models that need to be manufactured, those are a lot different, and those required computer-aided design tools in order to be properly prepared. Okay, so I hope you like this kind of content. If so, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so thanks and see you in the next video.